Hi, my name is Teresa Christensen, and I chose to do my presentation on school violence and bullying for my community health nursing project. I'm going to be reviewing the effects that it has on the patient, student, teachers, staff, and community. Issue and audience. Whether harassment takes place in person or online, the actions can have deep effects on a child's mental and physical health. Conflicts may occur out of sight or on a handheld screen such as a phone or a computer. Families need to watch for warning signs. Those might include a reluctance to talk about school, fear of riding the bus, or difficulty in other peer relationships. Parents need to talk to their kids daily about what is going on in their lives and in school. The objective of this presentation is to bring awareness to families, parents, caregivers, teachers, assistants, office staff, bus drivers, students, and children about the effects of school violence and bullying and the effects it can have on one another. Safety is the main priority for both physical and mental aspects of all children. The definition of school violence. Violence that takes place in schools is referred to as school violence. It defines violent activities that interfere with instruction and negatively impact students, schools, and the larger community. Definition for bullying. Bullying is a persistent and intentional abuse of power in interpersonal interactions that involve repetitive verbal, physical, and/or social behavior with the goal of inflicting bodily, social, or psychological harm. It can entail a person or group abusing their actual or perceived authority over one or more people who are powerless to stop it. The negative impacts of school violence. Youth violence and school violence exposure can result in a variety of unhealthy behaviors and outcomes, such as alcohol and drug abuse and suicide. School violence can lead to depression, anxiety, and a wide range of psychological issues, including fear. Negative impact for bullying. In addition to mental health problems, elevated stress and anxiety, sadness, lashing out aggressively, and low self-esteem are further repercussions of in-person bullying, as well as cyberbullying. Even after the bullying has ended, in-person bullying and cyberbullying can have a long-lasting emotional impact on a person. Prevention measures. There are several ways to assist in prevention measures. Although no one's actions can be controlled, there are ways to monitor and prevent acts of violence from occurring. Keep an eye on parking lots and common areas of the school, including the corridors, cafeterias, and sports grounds, including security personnel, school resource officers, or local police relationships. Implement security measures, create crisis plans, and give all staff members training on being prepared. Prevention measures for bullying. Bullying affects everyone involved, from the targets of bullying to the witness, and even the bullies themselves. And it happens everywhere, even in the best performing schools. Ways to prevent is to teach kindness and empathy, create opportunities for connection, identify behaviors, especially bullying behaviors, minimize concentric groups, contact parents if the situation does not cease, provide repercussions for bullying, promote students to speak up and not hide from bullying. And these are some great resources that I have found that can help with prevention measures and ways to identify school violence and bullying. So these are great resources, scholarly articles. There's information from the CDC and stopbullying.gov that just have a lot of great information and key tools to help teachers, parents, staff, as well as students to recognize bullying and know that it's not okay. And these are the references that I received my information from, Centers for Disease Control, and a couple of other scholarly resources there. So I just did want to go over, my apologies. I just wanted to go over some more information in regards to what school violence is. School violence is a major facet of the broad health problem that is youth violence. This involves any physical force or power that is used intentionally against another person or group, with physical or psychological harm being the likely result. Youth violence, which typically occurs between the ages of 10 and 24, is likely to originate from violence that begins in early childhood. Some examples of violent behavior include bullying, verbal abuse, fighting or physically hitting, the use of weapons, electronic aggression such as cyberbullying through text message or social media, gang violence. School violence occurs at the school, on the way to school or from school, during a school-sponsored event such as a football game, dance, or any sponsored event, on the way to or from a school-sponsored event. And then risk factors include community poverty, poor family functioning, association with delinquent peers, poor grades in school, poor history of violence, access to weapons, the size of the school, and drug and alcohol and or tobacco use are all risk factors that may affect school violence and bullying. As far as bullying, of course, it is unwanted in any type of school setting or any setting, period. It doesn't have to just be school. It could be work violence as well. Bullying is unwanted. It's repeated aggressive actions that occur over time. This sort of behavior usually occurs to a real or perceived imbalance of power among the parties, which includes the bullies. Not only does this cause very serious health problems in the individuals that are being bullied, but also affects the individual that is the bully. Both boys and girls experience similar rates of verbal attacks, damage to property, or threats of violence. While boys are more likely to be physically bullied, girls are more likely to be the victim of rumor spreading and being excluded from groups or activities. Being made fun of, threatened, excluded, being forced to partake in activities, or being the victim of physical bullying such as pushing or tripping someone, or things of that nature. Kids who are bullied are more likely to have depressed symptoms such as depression, anxiety. They may harm themselves. They might have high-level thoughts of suicide, attempted suicide, avoiding school, and lower academic achievement. Prevention measures that can be taken, as mentioned earlier in my presentation, is parent and community involvement, character education, violence prevention curriculum, peer mediation, and bullying prevention programs in education. So the reason why that I did choose this topic is because I had an experience of being bullied myself. I was 12 years old and I was in the 6th grade. I attended a kindergarten through 6th grade school and then changed schools when it was time to promote to the 8th grade, to the 7th grade, as my elementary school was only K through 6th. So during my 6th grade year, my whole education was provided at that one elementary school. I never moved schools. And it was a military-based school, so I had a lot of friends that came and went because they were all military family. And my 6th grade year, my last year there, for some reason, there was this one girl who was my friend throughout elementary school, and for some reason, I don't know if it was an act of jealousy or what exactly happened, because we would even spend the night at each other's houses or hang out and stuff like that. So I have no idea why, and I still to this day in my older adult years cannot pinpoint as to why she started to bully me. But she was very whispery in other students' ears, and she would spread rumors about me, and it excluded me from a lot of my friends. Of course, I participated in class activities, but as far as like recess and lunch, I was always by myself towards the end of the year because she had spread so many rumors. I don't even know what she would say. But I was very excluded, very by myself. There was a lot of laughter and snickering behind, my back, but also they made it a point to make me see their whispering and things like that. So I did know how it was felt to be bullied. I did not speak up to my mom and dad. At the time, I was, obviously only 12 years old, and I didn't know how to handle it because it never happened to me before. So I never said anything. I don't know if I was embarrassed or afraid, or I didn't want my mom and dad to know that I was having an issue at school, because they thought, that I was, I was doing well in school. My grades never failed. I was involved in chorus, band, cheerleading. I was, involved in all of it. So I don't know. I just never spoke up, and it harmed my, emotional state for a long time. I was always concerned of what other people thought, and still to this day, something that affects you at such a young age carries out through your adult life, even though you grow and you experience other things in life and you start your own families. Something that affects you so major at such a young age affects you to carry on through the rest of your life. Because to this day, I still, am concerned of what other people think. And, I'm a people pleaser, and I want to enjoy my friends, and I want to, have people like me per se, and things like that. But unfortunately, these things do happen to children, and it affects their mental ability to overcome these. It makes people depressed, have anxiety. It makes you worry. So that is why I chose this topic. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm glad to share my story. And thank you very much.